Okay, first off, we're going to review finding the slope in an equation and finding them from tables. When you look here first, you're going to see and remember that when equations are written in slope-intercept form, it's y equals mx plus b. From here, you should know that the number that is with the x is the slope. Okay? Now, why I say that is because some people are thinking that it's just the first number that's there. The second number is the y-intercept. Okay, so one of the things that I find with a problem on the test that you guys take is you need to remember that the y-intercept is written 0 and some number. Okay, make sure you know where the 0 goes. Now, I'll explain what I mean about the slope in just 1 second. Out of this right here, it's y equals mx plus b. Slope is the m, the number with the x. You should have had 5. One of the things that I find that people make a mistake on is that they write 5x. X is not a slope, okay? In the bubble in portion, when we took a practice EOC, I saw a lot of people get confused because they were trying to bubble in a 5x. They're like, well, how do I bubble in the x? There's no x here. Okay, that should be a hint to you that you're not supposed to put the letter in there. Next, the y-intercept should be 0, -2. Now, what if this was written y equals -2 plus 5x? That means the exact same thing, okay? But you have to know that the slope is the number with the x. Number 2, if you went through to find the slope here, you should have gotten 1/2. The y-intercept is 0, 4. So the next one, the slope is -3/4. The y-intercept is 0, 9. Okay, let's try the next ones. All right, there's the next ones. Right here, pause the video and see how you do. On these next ones again, y equals mx plus b. M is your slope, b is your y-intercept. Your slope should be -3, y-intercept 0, 9. Now let's add something on here. Knowing that my slope is -3, is my line going to be increasing or decreasing? The line is going to be decreasing. Okay, so decreasing. There we go. Now, I'm not really going to find the exact one, but if this was like, if I was trying to use this and try and find a graph that matched, the y-intercept is positive, so I would know that the y-intercept needed to be up here somewhere, and the line would have to be decreasing by going down. Next one here. Ooh, one of the biggest mistakes people tell me with slope, they tell me that the slope is x. It is not x, you're right. What number's in front of the x? A 1. Y'all don't have to yell at me. I'm just playing. Okay, it is 1. Is my line going to be increasing or decreasing? The slope is positive, so it's going to be increasing. I know you were joking. Okay, y-intercept would be 0, -3. Now, I hope you saw in number 6 that you needed to pay attention to this one. The slope is -6. Okay, is the line going to be increasing or decreasing? Decreasing. The line is going to be going down. The y-intercept is 0, 7. Okay. Now, what about from a table? Let's review and remember how to find the slope and the y-intercept from a table. I want you to find the equation. What I would do for a hint right here, I would make mine when I drew mine on my paper. Make this bigger for x and y. And then put your points in here. You should find the slope by doing delta y divided by delta x. Okay, so let's take a minute and try and answer this and find the equation. The first thing that you would go through and do is find, let me erase this for a second, give me some more room. You would find delta y. The change in y right here is minus 6. Right here is actually minus 9. Okay, be careful. People think, oh, well, because they're not the same, they're not linear. You can't find the equation. That's not true. Delta x plus 2 plus 3. Now, for those of you that are struggling maybe with these negatives, if you take the bottom number minus the top, so if you would have put in there negative 6 minus 3, it would have given you your minus 9. So now we go and we do, to find our slope, we have delta y divided by delta x. Negative 6 over 2 is negative 3. Negative 9 over 3 is negative 3. This is my slope. Now, you should be able to tell immediately in the table, how do I know that this is my y-intercept? Because I know the y-intercept is 0 and some number. So if my y-intercept is 0, 3, my equation is going to be y equals negative 3x minus 3. Now, even if you didn't remember, you can go in your table and have negative 3 times 0. When you multiply these together, you get 0. What do you have to add or subtract to 0 to get to 3? Plus 3. And I don't know why I wrote a minus 3 right there. Okay, there we go, plus 3. Now, wait a minute. Is my line right here, is my line going to be increasing or decreasing? It is going to be decreasing. It is going to be going down. Now, that means that if I was graphing it, my y-intercept would be up here at 3. The slope is negative 3, which is down 3 and to the right 1. Down 3 to the right 1. Now, let me add something else in here. Let's see, what is it? Negative 3x plus 3? Okay. Y equals negative 3x plus 3. This is slope intercept form, right? Okay. Let's go back and let's try and remember, how do we change this into standard form? What the heck is standard form? It's ax plus by equals c. So what it means is I need to move this back around to get the x and the y on the same side. So right here, the y is already over there, right? We need to move this x. How do I move this 3x to the other side? What do I need to do? Can you just put it over there? No. Then what do? I have to add 3x to each side. Well, these cancel out right over here. Yeah. So now I have 3x plus y equals 3. There it is in standard form. Okay. Next. There's the next one. I want you to find the equation, find the slope, the y-intercept. So let me write that up here. Hold on. So I want you to find the equation. I want you to find the slope, the y-intercept. I want you to find it in standard form. Yep. And I also want you to find, let's add something else in there you should know how to do. The X intercept. So let's do that now. Okay, the first thing I asked you to do was to find the equation of this line. There's a couple things. Well, first off, in my table, I already see my y-intercept right there. So I know my y-intercept I can put in there as 0, 2. Okay? To find my equation, Let's see, I'm going to do delta y, the change in y, plus 4 plus 2. Delta x plus 6 plus 3. Well, delta y over delta x, 4 divided by 6. Well, it does end up being 0.666, but if I want to make it a fraction, though, remember slope needs to be a fraction. It does reduce to 2/3, but let me remind you. Yeah, that's what I'm going to remind you how to do it. Take 4, divide 6, press math on your calculator, enter 2 times, enter, enter, and it will reduce your fraction. The next one, on the bottom one, that one does reduce to 2/3. It's already 2 over 3. So there's my slope. Oops, I wrote a 3, 2/3. My equation should be y equals 2/3 x plus 2. If you see, I kind of color coordinated that right now. Is this line going to be increasing or decreasing? It is going to be increasing because the slope is positive. Okay? Whoops, positive. Now, another thing is, wait a minute. This is going to be linear. I know it's going to be linear because delta y over delta x is the same. What does linear mean? It makes a straight line. The other thing we worked on was whether it's proportional. What does proportional mean? What does proportional mean? What does proportional mean? Well, if it doesn't have a y-intercept, it means it goes through what? It goes through the origin, which is 0, 0. Is this y-intercept, is it 0, 0? No, it is not. This one is not proportional. Okay? Linear, proportional. Does anybody remember we just did it on our last unit? What's the other phrase we have instead of proportional? Not linear. There was 2 words. DV. Direct variation. When they ask for direct variation, they're talking about whether it's proportional. Now, I'm going to write on the next slide, I'm going to write this right here so that I can put it in standard form. So let me remember, it's 2x plus, y equals 2/3 x plus 2. Remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c. So when I go to move this, there's a little bit more to this. Because in this case, I need to subtract 2/3 x from each side. Because I'm moving this to the other side. So now I get 2/3 x plus y equals 2. That's great, but technically it's not totally in standard form. We need to do another thing. See how there's a fraction right here? I need to get rid of this 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the entire equation by 3. Now by doing this, 3 times 2/3 crosses this out and I get 2x. Okay? And if you don't remember or you don't believe me, you can put in the calculator 3 parentheses 2 divide 3 and it will give you 2. Then take 3 times y plus 3y. 3 times 2 is 6. This is in standard form. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. I've got standard form. What was it? 2x plus 3y equals 6. I'm going to go back over here because here's the other thing. This is standard form. The other thing it asked us to find was the X-intercept. When I have an X-intercept, my Y number is 0. So if my Y number is 0, that makes this cancel out. I'm doing the cover-up method. So now I have 2x equals 6. If I divide by 2, x equals 3. There would be my X-intercept. The next one, right here. I want you to find the equation, the slope, the Y-intercept, the X-intercept, and the equation in standard form. I want you to tell me if it is linear and if it is proportional. And if the line is increasing or decreasing. Please do that now. Okay, right here, I am so glad somebody caught this because I moved on to the next problem, and I'm sure if you're watching the video, you're like, what in the world is the deal? Okay, and so let me go back a second. I was having some distraction in my room and missed writing that down. So I have negative, it's supposed to be negative 2/3 x plus y equals 2. That's what it's supposed to be. I just forgot the negative. You still, though, need to get rid of that 3. And so I will multiply everything by 3. Because it can, the question was, why not negative? Because you could do it that way if you wanted to. But as long as the number, if the numbers in front of x is negative, that's fine. All I want to do is get rid of the 3. Okay? By doing this here, I'll have negative 2x. And then you do 3 times y and 3 times 2, which gives me plus 3y equals 6. Whew. Now that is what it is in standard form. Okay? Now from here, let's go and find our X-intercept. And I apologize for that confusion. We took care of that situation. Okay. To find the X-intercept, you know that the Y number is 0. We learned the cover-up method. That means that cover up the Y, because if I put 0 in here for Y, what's 3 times 0? 0. It makes it go away. That's why we just cover it up. So I have negative 2x equals 6. Then I divide by negative 2, and I get x equals negative 3. That is my X-intercept, negative 3, 0. Okay? Now, I'll go back, and this is what I wanted you to do next. I wanted you to find the equation from this table, the slope, the X-intercept, the Y-intercept, standard form. Is it linear? Is it proportional? Is my line increasing or decreasing? Please do that now. Okay, to find, first off, trying to answer some of these questions right here. The Y-intercept is written right here at 0, negative 4. Okay, so now I'm going to go through and I'm going to find my slope, delta y divided by delta x. Again, take the bottom number, negative 4, minus negative 6. It would be plus 2. Now this one right here would be, what is this? Minus 15. That seems weird. Delta x plus 6 plus 9. So delta y over delta x, 2 over 6. If you put that in the calculator to reduce, press math, enter, enter, you'll get 1/3. The next one here, negative 15 over 9. Ooh, if you reduce that and do that in there, you'll get negative. You'll get negative, let's see, 5, so that's 3. No, wrong. Divide a 3 out of it. Sorry, what is yours? You said negative 5/3? When you put that in there, because you can divide a 3 out of each of them. Okay, are these the same? Those are not the same. It is not linear. If it is not linear, it does not make a line. You cannot come up with the equation. There's nothing you can do from it from here. So you can't answer any of the rest of the questions. Okay? Now, for those doing on the computer at home, you should answer the same equations or same questions here, going through and finding the equation, trying to find the X-intercept, the Y-intercept, slope. Is it linear? Is it proportional? Did I miss one? And if it's increasing, if the line is going to be increasing or decreasing. So you can take a minute and pause the video and try and answer these questions. Okay, so on this one, we should see from that we have a point right here of 0, 0. That's actually going to be your X and your Y intercept. It's going to cross the X and Y axis in the same place. Well, you know, I probably shouldn't even jump ahead like this. I should first go through and figure out if it's linear. Does it make a straight line? And for it to be linear, delta Y divided by delta X has to be the same. So now I'm going to do delta Y, which is minus 8, and plus 6, delta X, plus 4, plus 3. Delta Y over delta X is negative 8 over 4, which is negative 2. Well, then I have 6 over 3. That's positive 2. These are not the same. That means it is not linear. If it's not linear, I can't do anything else with it. See, because if I went to go graph this and kind of sketch the graph, let's see here. If I took these points, negative 4, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 4, 8 is up here. Then you have 0, 0. Then you have 3, 6. And up 6. Well, does that make a straight line if I connect it? No, it makes, well, I didn't draw my line very well. It makes like a V. So this is not linear. And that's all you can do with this.